here, it's right here, it's right here. This close, that close, this close. Can you hear me? Am I crackly?
7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
What's going on, guys? In this video, we're going to be installing our SubiFlow carbon fiber shift knob. So you may be asking yourself, why do I need an install video for a shift knob? Well, if you're like me and you really are hesitant to mess things up, then this video is probably for you. Now, I've seen videos before and I didn't really believe that taking a shift knob off, the stock one, was as easy as literally just spinning it, but it is. Thank goodness, because that was my biggest worry. So if you find this video, you're not alone. I'm like that too. All you really need to do is just turn the shift knob. At first, it's gonna crack kind of like a bolt, but I mean, I'm sure it's got anti-seize on it or something from the factory. Really, all you do is just turn it, and it'll be a little bit harder at the beginning. Like I said, at first, this was a lot harder to spin off. If you look inside here, you can see the threads down in there. Now, one of the biggest differences that I noticed between the SubiFlow shift knob and the stock shift knob is the SubiFlow, the threads are completely flush. The stock shift knob, there's a little bit of room right here between the edge and where the threads start. So you can thread it all the way on here, and then this little area right here is where your lockout kind of recedes into the shift knob. So that was one of the biggest things I had, and it's kind of why I wanted to make this video, is to show you what I did about it. If you watch my unboxing video of the SubiFlow shift knob, you get these little universal adapters. You get a couple of set screws and an Allen key. So this is the first one that I used. It's just a little piece of fairly thick rubber. That hole right there is from where I had the set screw put in it. Now, they're not threaded on the inside, so it's rubber, so you have to use the pressure of the shift knob itself to kind of thread the rubber on there. This one is a little bit too big, and you can kind of just push it on there so you don't even need to thread it. So I had that one on first, and the shift knob kept spinning around, so I took that one off and I went for the next size down. It's so tight in there now that I can't get it out, but you know, it's built to be able to take on and take off. And also, we've got this little thing right here that threads on. You can see that's where you put your set screws in. You can see a little bit better here where the grommet sits, right? So what you got to do, first of all, this has got to go on there, okay? And then you're going to thread your shift knob on. Whoop. Don't want to get that crooked. Get it all the way on there. Spin, 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 spin to win. There's about 3 or 4 more threads that I can thread that on, but for the sake of the video, this is fine. It's important to get this thing lined up correctly so you don't cross thread it, which can prove kind of difficult, especially with one hand. And let's see here. Come on. There we go. Alright, now, the biggest problem that I had with this is that if you notice right here, there's that extra room for the reverse lockout. Now, it doesn't look like that's moving much, but there is plenty of room for it to lock out right there. But this has white grease on it. It's just exposed metal with grease on it, right? If you didn't have the grease on it, this wouldn't move. So that really bugs me, because this has grease on it right here, if you leave this shift knob on for an extended amount of time, that's just going to collect dirt and hair and food particles if you eat in your car. all kinds of stuff that you don't want happening. So I thought about it and I was like, brake cables have a little accordion shaped dust boot. I've got to be able to find something like that at O'Reilly's. So my solution for that was this right here, breather tube grommets. This right here is what fits right over that. Those aren't threads, they're just a little barb on there, but as you can see, it's pretty squishy and it fits almost perfectly over that. So I cut off this little top portion right there. See, that's the cut off piece right there. But I wanted to make sure that I wasn't getting a whole lot of dirt and grease and all kinds of nasty crap in there that's eventually going to keep that from moving anyway. And then I got a little bit of lithium white grease. And so this was about $5 for these stupid little grommets. This was like $2. To me, that's kind of ridiculous, but I guess it takes more to manufacture a couple little grommets than it does to manufacture grease, I guess. I don't know. It's the only reason I can see why the cost is higher for grommets instead of grease. Whatever. So, this is the finished product. But like I said, it's been on there for about a month and it's in pretty good shape. So let's see how we're going to put that on. So you're going to take off your little bezel right there. Alright, it just fits right over there. Nice and snug. And it looks kind of like something you might see from the factory. We're going to take our little accordion grommet doodle, take our white grease, and we don't need a whole lot. Actually, what's right there on the tip of this might be enough. Yep, that's perfect. You just need a little bit in there. I mean, it's not, you don't want it squeezing out all over the place, but you want it to be lubricated enough so that you don't get your reverse lockout stuck on there. And go like that and get it on there a little bit nice and snug. We're gonna screw on our shift knob for the 20 millionth time. That feels good. So it's never going to be quite as snug as it is from the factory, you know, no big deal. But okay, now comes the time when we've got to place our little set screws. Now, if you don't know what a set screw is, it's a very, very tiny, very easy to lose little screw that helps set things in place so that they stay there forever if you want them to. Usually it's used for like kind of clamping down, like if you go to the gym, clamping down rubber belts for like a cable machine or something like that. But I mean, it's super duper small. You got tiny little threads on it. This stupid thing, it won't even focus on it. It's so small. But you take this and just thread it into your little hole right here. Now the universal adapter that I've used for this shift knob is a little bit snug already. The set screw is just really to ensure that nothing falls out. You don't need to make it super tight. And then there's two more on each side. Well, there's two more. One's right here. Oh no! Thank goodness for shift boots. Here we go. Sweet. Boom, there you go. Reverse lockout still moves enough. It's not as much as it is stock, but I don't know have my foot on the clutch. Foot on the clutch. Boom. Reverse. There you go. That's it. Just fine. See, this is 6th. And that's reverse. Boom. Done. And that is how you install a shift knob from SubiFlow. So if you like this video, if it answered any questions that you have, so like the video, subscribe, hit the notification bell, because I don't make videos very consistently because life happens. Thanks for watching.